You grew up fairly poor, didn't you?
Yeah, I was one of nine kids, and we were desperately poor. My dad had to quit when he was quit school, and when he was 13 years old, he supported himself, and then I quit when I was 16 years old and joined the Civilian Conservation Corps. We had Army officers and so forth that took charge of us and everything, and it's a good program.
And out of that, so there you were, I get during the Depression in the Civilian Conservation Corps, right?
Yeah, we paid us $25 a month. They paid $30 a month, but they sent $25 of it home to our parents. That's how tough it was, and they paid us $5 a month. And we worked 10-hour days, 6 days a week.
Wow.
We really worked.
Yeah.
It was good for us, actually, but we really worked.
So out of that, World War II starts, correct?
Yeah, I was a combat pilot World War II, you know.
Yeah, and I know that. I know you flew 17 missions over Germany, a B-17 pilot. So did you enlist in the Army and then became part of the Army Air Corps?
Yeah, you're really up on that, aren't you?
Well, no, I happen to like, I'm a World War II kind of nutcase. My dad served in Europe during the war, so I really paid attention to it. So
it was called the Army Air Corps.
Yeah.
And it was a division of the Army. We wore Army uniforms and everything, and we thought we were the berries, you know. I guess we were, because you couldn't have anything wrong with you. With the strictest physical examination in the world, and then they gave you an IQ test, and it was really tough. It was about a 4-hour test, and it was a tough son of a gun.
And you never flew before, did you?
No, I didn't. I went right in just hoping and praying I'd get to be a pilot. I always wanted to be a pilot. And sure enough, I made it.
All right, so after the war, you come out having been a trained pilot. You had left school at 15, so you didn't really have a lot of marketable skills, and there were a million pilots out there. So,
well, that's true. You know, I thought I'd have a cinch finding a job. I was a crack pilot. I still have. I still fly my own airplane. I have a jet airplane. I've been flying for a long time. I still have it. I use it a lot. But I thought it'd be easy to get a job. No, you had to have 4 years of college.
And so what did you do after the war?
Well, right after the war, I was just desperate for work, and I couldn't find anything I could do. I wasn't a plumber or a carpenter, or I didn't have any trades at all. And so I bought an old car, and I bought it for $300, and I fixed it up, and I sold for $360. I thought, my goodness, that's a sure a neat thing to do. So I bought another old car, and I think I made $120 on it. And all of a sudden, I thought, my goodness, I found something I could do. So
yeah, boy, and did you do that? For those people that don't know who Cal Worthington is, and he was actually, you pioneered television commercials in Southern California. I mean, I remember as a kid watching your commercials and you singing "Go See Cal, Go See Cal," and the dog Spot. He had his dog Spot, or you had your dog Spot. It was never a dog.
Nope, never.
It was, and that was a spoof on someone else who did bring his dog on, right? Another dealer.
Yeah, another guy did use a dog, and my commercials will often end with, my dog can whip his dog. I'd usually have a tiger or a lion.
I know, that's so funny. And by the way, the success here is unbelievable because, I mean, you're still doing that, but, I mean, you were selling hundreds of millions of dollars of cars a year.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah. I'm still very involved. I have 4 dealerships. I'm mostly involved now in farming and ranching, but I still work at it, and I do all my commercials. Every Monday I do commercials.
And how old are you now? Can I ask, Cal?
Yeah, I'm 89, going on 19.
Isn't that amazing? And you still fly. How do you keep your pilot's license? I mean, you're flying jet aircraft. Is that a problem at 89?
No, not at all. I'm very healthy. I've taken care of myself, and I remember what Gene Autry said one time. He says, "If I'd known I was going to live this long, I would have taken better care of myself."
Wow, that's just terrific. So you start the car dealership, right? And what made you think of going into TV? Because you were one of the pioneers of TV commercials for a car dealer.
Yeah, I had some people urging me to do it, and I finally agreed to it, and I didn't do the commercial. I had nothing to do with the commercials, and we weren't doing very well, and he said to me, Cal, why don't you do the commercials? He was an ad exec, you know, and I said, oh, no, not me. No way. And he kept insisting, and so finally I did the commercial with him, and it went over really well, and so he talked me into doing them, and after I got used to it, I got the idea, or I was told, hey, just speak to one guy out there. Don't try to speak to millions of people. Just talk to one guy and try to talk that guy into coming in and buying a car from you. And that's what I've been doing all my life. I just talk to one guy.
Now, you got to the point where I couldn't turn a TV set on growing up without hearing that song and without seeing you on television. What made you go through buying every TV station all night long, every half hour, there'd be a Cal Worthington commercial on?
Well, it was selling a lot of cars, and of course that was my purpose, to sell cars. I didn't claim to be an entertainer. However, I wound up being an entertainer. I've spoken a lot of big conventions and stuff, and I tell stories, Dodgers type stuff, you know, and it's worked pretty well. But my whole purpose is to sell cars.
Right. And have you done that? How many dealerships did you have at one time when you had the most?
I had 27 at one time.
And you would do commercials for all of them?
You know, yes, and you know the way I made money, in many cases, I'd take a dealership that was dying, really losing money, and take it over, sometimes for just a buck, just $1, take it over, and make it very profitable, and sell it. And I make it profitable by hiring really good people and carrying a huge inventory and light television and my big hat. The big hat indicates I'm a good guy. If I wore a black hat, I'm a bad guy with a black hat. So you wear a white hat.
What a story, Cal. I mean, I got to tell you, you're one of my heroes.
Well,
and I don't say that very often. I interview a lot of people, and there aren't many Cal Worthingtons out there. Cal, thank you so much for your time. By the way, Cal Worthington Dodge, still here in Southern California.
No. I had Worthington Ford there in Long Beach.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so you had a Worthington Dodge at one time, didn't you?
Oh, for years and years. I had 9 Dodge dealerships, yeah.
That's a great story. All right, Cal, so I stand corrected. Worthington Ford is still here in California. Cal Worthington, thank you so much for joining us here on KFI.
Thank you, and thank you folks for listening, and you folks have a nice day.
What a pleasure. Thanks so much. This is KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk radio.